Do it.
Do it. Oh yeah. I gotta keep that on there because
I got lost in the sauce. I didn't
Do
even
it.
know. I didn't even know when we were gonna.
Oh
stop.
yeah, no, that was like
Sometimes it's tough. You get really into it.
Yeah, dude.
I feel like I pictured Tom Cruise and aviators coming up and just being like,
It's time to stop.
Dude, I love Tom Cruise.
"Let's fly."
I'll cruise with Tom
I don't know if
Cruise.
he's ever said that. Top Gun was a pretty good movie though.
This
Yeah.
this episode is sponsored by Yingling Flight, next generation of light beer. It's not sponsored, but please.
It's actually not. Yeah, no.
Let's just start doing fake ads.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, dude, that's like step one to getting sponsored by something. Just pretend that you are.
yeah.
Just fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
I could do a fake ad for like. Probably couldn't actually
Bowling pin. Bowling pin.
for this one
Speaking of
specifically.
bowling pin, let's talk about that bowling pin.
This bowling
The
pin?
rolling pin?
Bowling pin.
This specific bowling pin is named Betty Flingenheimer.
Yep.
And
Looks like a Betty.
Heimer, hardly know her.
how did this get in your
I
possession?
think my
It was
brother was bowling and it just came back. The lane.
whoa,
That's
Something?
impressive.
dude, he must
Yeah.
have smashed that
He's a gnarly bowler.
I'm about
dude.
to break.
gnarly bowler, dude.
Let's go break some pins, dude.
But like the face on it.
Yeah, it's-
someone was telling me. You were telling me.
Oh yeah, you know what
Joey.
that
It's
is?
like
It's the origin.
It's the
face.
origin face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the
Joey-
origin is like the center of the XY graph.
Can we bring this up to the camera? Let's see.
Oh snap!
Let's,
Show it to him real good.
see
But it looks
Also-
like a face, so it's
yeah.
a real line under it.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's written on there, Betty Flingenheimer, and
Yeah.
like Flingenheimer is spelled with like a PH.
PHLL with no
Yeah.
vowel between.
It's distinguished.
filling.
It's very. I don't know.
Flingenheimer.
We did that was like from
Put that
literally
back over there.
probably 2007.
Love it.
No.
No, it's just like
No,
a great
it's-
accessory. for
That's like
this room.
2010.
2010. I don't know what time is anymore.
Tyler, what was your day like today? How are you doing?
So I woke up and I took Kiri to work, and then I went back to try to take a little nap because we stayed up till 3:00 in the morning last night.
Yeah, we had practice.
And,
We had practice and stuff.
And
Yep.
I went back to go take a nap, and like literally my little black kitten, like
Mhm.
he will not let me sleep ever.
Too much fun.
Dude, it's playtime for him whenever I'm sleeping. It's like, oh, you're sleeping. It's time for me to like just hit you in the face
Yeah.
with my paws. And like he makes these like really adorable, cute like chirping noises whenever he like attacks things. So
Oh, yeah.
it's just
Predator mode.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know if he's like using like echolocation or something or like
Yeah, it's like that same noise that they make when they see like birds out the window or like something like that. They make the
yeah, it's like and then I just
I don't know.
so like I'll be like,
Like
just
what?
I'll just be like trying to like sleep and I'll just hear like the little chirping and then I'll just hear like his little feet just like
I wonder what the
Just
like,
like-
reason they make those noises is. Like, I wonder if it's like maybe they're trying to get their attention, so like they look back and they stop for a second, so like they have the perfect opportunity to like
Man, like the element
Jump.
of surprise.
yeah.
They're like, what the?
Like,
What
fuck's
is that
But,
noise?
Like, but like when they look, they stop.
I,
You know what mean?
I swear
wonder, I don't know.
it's like echolocation. It's like it's
No
gotta
way,
be.
dude.
I don't think so, man.
Dude, their hearing
cool
has
as
to
that
be
would be.
insane.
Yeah, but they have good eyes.
yeah.
True.
Like
I don't know.
animals with echolocation like fucking can't.
They
see.
can't see. They have to see with sound.
Yeah.
I did,
That's what
I
bats
didn't-
do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
dang.
It's like sonar.
I don't know if they're like mutually exclusive though.
I mean, like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure
I
cats
don't-
don't have echolocation though.
This is not something that I'm educated enough
Yeah, I
to.
mean-
I need to know.
I'm
I
not
want to.
like-
I want to know.
I'm not like a. I didn't go to school for cats, but
echolocations.
Well, if you did go to school for cats, you could tell me how to like help me nap.
help
Take
you
it-
is
out.
take
there
a nap.
school for
Lock your
cats?
cat in a
because,
different
like,
room.
No, because then if I put him outside the room, he just cries. He
Yeah,
just
but you can
cries.
put earmuffs on over your ears and then go to sleep.
I can't do that either.
Yeah.
I'd have to let him in, and then it's
Yeah.
just a constant
I
battle.
understand. Well, then I guess you have to go get rid of him, dude. I'm just kidding.
No.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, all you
Never.
have to do
He's
to do that
mine
is
forever.
just open the door.
Yeah. No, it
And then
is
you'll
open.
Never see him again.
Don't do
Oh, like the door to my
yeah,
house.
listen to the house. Yeah. He's saying
Yeah.
all you have to do to get rid of him is be like,
Don't do
look,
that.
an
That's
outside
There you
world.
go. Yeah.
I don't really
Yeah.
believe in that.
That's the sound of him leaving the house.
All of us have cats. All of us have
He's just like-
cats for the record, and we would never do that. For the record.
Yeah, I love my
I-
little Quincy baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gives me, dude. You know what? The funniest thing? Does your cat have like a affection? This is like, does your cat have like a way that it shows you affection that's like different than like the normal things, like running between your legs? Like,
Yeah.
what
I don't
is
know
it?
if it's abnormal, but go ahead.
So like whenever I enter the room, he like stiffens up and makes that chirping noise.
So it's like saying like, hey,
Yeah, and then he'll like come up and like rub up against my leg real quick. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
sometimes he also like literally Spider-Man jumps onto me.
oh, dude, yeah, Quincy used to do that.
Yeah, he'll just be like "Sure," and just like I'll just
Yeah.
be like
Yeah.
that hurts. I
But
love you
you're so
too.
I forgot. Yeah, your cat's still like a
Yeah.
kitten.
But
Yeah.
like no,
Kitten
like
energy.
Quint. Okay, so like the thing is like Chief doesn't really have it because he's just like a big loaf of bread. But like he has his like belly rubbing thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
And then Quincy is like, if I like motion to him, like then I give him like the lips, the old kitchen lips, you know, like the, you know, like things are going good. He'll like come over and then he'll like put his head and just go like right on my
Oh,
lips
that
to get
is
like a little
just-
kiss on the forehead. But
That
like,
is
dude, it's like
just
the
so
greatest
cute.
connection thing I've
Like-
ever had with a pet. But
Yeah.
the thing I had before that was with the other cat that I had, Zoe, that's at my parents' house.
Yeah, I love
She would
Zoe.
lick the tip of my nose as like the same type of thing.
Yeah.
That's so crazy that like it's just different between.
That is so crazy.
my
I
cat. Sorry, I didn't mean to-
no, dude, you're good.
What's
Oh.
your little kitty do?
My cat. So like my cat's like a dog. Like she like she like as soon as like I'm home, like we have like a routine. Like if I don't go through the routine, she will not leave me alone. Like so she like as soon as I come home, like you know I used to like put my stuff down in the kitchen, like all that stuff, and like she like comes out and sits there, like it will like just like makes like that like squinty face at me, like blinky. Like it's like he's like and she's just very vocal, like meow meow, like
Yeah.
we're home, and then like I have to go give her
Crazy.
I have to go give her treats. If I don't give her treats when I get home,
You have to.
she like won't.
Oh,
she
she
won't leave me alone.
demands.
She
Demands
has
a
this
treat.
thing. She understands that if I leave, and I come back, she thinks that's a sign. If I walk in the door, it's like treat time. But see, there's
Oh.
a problem there because if I go out to my car to grab something,
She's like
she's like,
treat
"Oh,
time.
you
Treat
left. Treat time.
Treat time.
Yeah.
So it's every single time. And then she like, you know, how, like they do the head rubs. That's not like abnormal. Like they rub their head against your head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She does it like aggressively.
Yes.
Like she will like rub her
smashes-
jowls against me. Like she just like
She's like
she-
digging in there trying to get her scent
yeah,
on you,
yeah.
dude.
She and then she just like she's like just will like she has to be by me. Like she won't leave.
Yeah. Dang.
That's a good cat.
It's adorable.
That's a very good cat. It's a very good kitty.
I hate when a cat isn't like social.
My
Like
cat's very social.
my dad used to have a cat that was like only social with him, right?
Right.
And that's cool, but like, dude, all the rest of the time it just hid under the bed.
yeah.
And then it never came out. And I always wanted to go get it. So like as a kid, like trying
Yeah.
to like grab it out and be like,
and
I
that
want to pet
action-
you.
And that action makes
Yeah.
them
And
be
they're
more like
I
that.
hate you.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, why do you get me out like this? And it's
Yeah.
like, bro, because like you won't come out. I want you to.
You're like it's like the
I
meme.
want to love you.
It's the meme with like what's his name? Obi-Wan and Anakin. It's like you were the chosen one.
I have the higher ground.
I hate you.
Yeah.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Give us.
Oh,
A
it,
date.
it died.
Oh,
Rip.
it died.
Rest in peace. No, so my stepmom's parents, they had this cat named Kidders.
Kidders. What a
Kidders.
great fucking
Oh, I
cat
love that name.
Kidders, right? So like his name was Kidders, and I will always like. Also, the other thing is like, at my grandparents' farm, like there was always cats. So I like.
Is this in Maryland?
Well, my stepmom's family was not. It was like on Fairview Road, right next. to
Oh,
mine,
that
like-
yeah, up there. Okay.
Yes. But anyways, like I grew up like just like with like kittens on like this farm, and like they were always super friendly. Well, most of the time, really, right? Like there was always kittens around me, cats and stuff, and like I was used to cats being like really friendly. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time, but then I experienced this cat, and this cat was just like so mean, and like she would sit on this like chair that was just like right by the door, like to the entry to the house, and she would sit on the top of it, and like anybody that walked in the door, she would just like
Like a growl.
yeah,
Oh,
Let you
dude.
know.
yeah, dude. And then like
Those
if
are
you got
weird.
close enough, you would just feel this. Like it was like
Do
it was
not
just like
enter.
yeah, but like it was just like and
That's
like but I as like a 14-year-old kid, I was always just like, dude, please, like I just want to, you're so please like let me touch you. I always tried to develop a relationship with that cat, but
Friend.
it just drove me further away. She just hated
Yeah.
my
You
guts.
didn't walk in the
Forever.
house today, Lazowski.
Literally, it's just like
Mike Wazowski.
I was like this made me believe like all right, cats can be kind of like mean.
Yeah.
What was that lady's name?
I don't know.
Dude,
I forget.
The slug lady.
the slug lady.
Yeah. It's a good
Crap.
question.
Yo,
We need a-
all right,
We need a
let's
fact checker.
we
Damn.
need-
No, I wanted to ask you a question though
Oh.
first.
ask me
So-
a question.
Yeah, so I was thinking about this is what I was thinking about earlier this week. What? So you know how like you've had like eras in your life where it's like this screen name is like your screen name, and like we've had this. Like the thing is, this is not the point because I feel like everybody has that.
Right.
But like, so you had like your AIM thing, and then now it's like your Instagram handle or your
Right,
Twitter
right,
handle.
totally.
And like that's just like who you are for that point in time. Like you picked that for your name
It's like a bit of a
because like you
persona.
couldn't put like at Jake
Right.
because
Right.
a million like
Yeah,
other
dude.
people want to do that,
And
but
you didn't
one
want to be
person
like
did
Jake
that.
Lepley 5432.
Yeah, no, but you
That's
want to
what
come up with
Facebook's
something
for.
cool that's like your thing, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
But no, what I was saying is like, what if? Isn't it the same with like passwords? For me,
Huh.
like I've had like eras where it's like, this password is
If
what
you
the
use, like-
password
you
is.
use like
Dude,
the same
yes.
word with different numbers, like, and then you change the
for
word
yeah
in
for
your password.
like. I remember having like this era of like this kind of password with like this word involved in it, and now like
No, I definitely had errors of passwords. Like I totally understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I and at some point like I have to move on from this password. I had to make a more like complicated password.
right.
So, like, I was
or
like-
you forgot how to log in one day because
Yeah.
you did auto log in too many
Yeah.
times.
Yeah. So that happens to me a lot with Google. But yeah, man, it's weird how like it's like we're like the first maybe not the very first, like pretty much the first generation to really have to like do that.
We're just like aliases, dude. Like
Yeah.
what was so like going like the screen name thing is like what was your first screen name?
Do we have to share our very first screen name right now?
Yes.
So okay, I'll go because I'm gonna set the bar really high for fucking stupidity. Okay.
I don't think so.
So remember when AOL was like a client, like it was a program you launched.
Yes.
Like, on the
Like
internet,
the
like dial-up.
Yes, I do remember that.
Dial-up.
the
Yeah.
noise
So like
that it
so
made.
like there wasn't like, and maybe there was, but like the only real like internet browser back then were like Netscape and shit, right?
Dude, my
like-
first email was a Netscape
But in order
account.
to like get online, AOL like would open and you had like your friends list, your all that shit, and then like it had a browser within it, right?
Yeah.
So on AOL, and I don't remember how this happened, but like I remember that my sister's boyfriend set it up and everything for me, and he made my name Lizard Boy 238.
Lizard
Lizard
Boy
Boy.
238 is pretty rough.
It's fucking rough, bro.
That's pretty rough.
I don't remember why he did it, but I know I was really fucking
Lizard
mad.
He,
Boy.
he must have hated you. Like, all right,
All right, let's
Lizard
go around.
Boy.
That was my very first one.
What was yours?
What was your very first one? Do you remember?
Mine was Funky 4 Strings,
Funky Four String.
but it was
Like
like,
the number
funky.
4.
But it was like
Oh.
the number 4.
Yeah.
But it was like, I realized I had fucked up because like, I wanted it to be like Funky 4 Strings, like because like I played the bass like super hard.
I mean, I think it
Right.
like goes both ways, right?
Right, but then I realized that it was like it looked like my screen name was just like Funky for Strings.
Dude, I never thought about it.
And I always thought about that. It
People
always
just think I like strings in general.
I was
That's
just
not
like
the case at all.
Yeah, I'm funky for strings, baby,
Funky
and
like
I'm
basses.
groovy for the ropes.
funky.
Now I gotta
for
make my
strings.
sign-in sound the fucking boom ba dee ba doom doo doo.
Like, dude, it was. I just.
Funky for strings. I never thought about that.
I'm glad that.
Underground
Well,
artist.
the thing is, I think that you're the only one that really knew that was what, because like
Yeah.
Wait,
Was
what was
a-
the next one? I don't want to like.
Well, I wanted to go through and share the second and third one then.
okay,
Okay, all right,
all right,
all right. So,
okay.
No, so then my first one, I think Aaron made it for me, but it was like Ferrari 12094, which is like my birthday numbers.
Ferrari.
But the problem is that like the Ferrari with like spelled right, like FERRARI, was taken. So it was like FARRARI 12094.
Like
and it's-
Ferrari.
yeah.
At least it wasn't Ferrari, like FURR.
Yeah.
That would have been
let's not
generally
get
frowned
into that.
upon.
Let's
Yeah.
not
Sorry
go
to
down
any-
that road. We don't want to talk about those things.
You want to hit that?
Okay, okay.
Close you on that bad boy right there. Tight.
Tight.
So,
Wow.
all right. So we'll go through and do our. I'm gonna do second and third. Second, however many I want to do. So the next one that I made was like, I gotta get out of this like shitty screen name, right? And this was on.
Like I got to think about this because I made a lot of like fake AOL accounts.
This next one was AIM though, because like now it was like AIM was like its own thing now,
Okay.
like just like without
Yes.
the AOL like client. red guitar 15817.
Dude.
All right, so
Because you have red hair and you
Yeah.
like guitars.
Is it like, does it have to do with
you guys
your hair?
got
or,
nothing
like,
on my fucking screen names, bro.
Bro.
Lizard
it's
Boy, red
Lizard
guitars.
Boy and red guitar.
Yeah, so
Bro.
okay, I'm gonna do the next one. And the next one, boy oh boy, was it not thought through properly, like at all. But it was almost the same thing as Red Guitar 15817. It was Red Boil 1581.
That's the one that I remember.
Do you remember
Bro.
that one?
I remember that.
I
one.
don't remember that one, but that
So-
one is terrible because it sounds
And-
like you have a red boil.
I know.
Like a skin
but, like-
problem.
Like the kid
When I
from
made
like,
that name, I didn't know
Very
what
Odd
that
Parents?
was. I didn't know that a boil was like
Yeah,
a
yeah, it's like a
fucking
boil.
like skin thing. I just knew it was my last name.
yeah, right, yeah, dude, totally,
yeah.
totally. No,
Honorable mention as a fourth edginess. X Backburner X
I remember that one.
was
too.
like
Dude, that one's
the
tough.
August Burns Red. That was way.
oh, that
later.
one's tough. And Backburner is,
But it was like
that's such a
Backburner was
sick
spelled with
song.
a 3 instead of an E.
Oh, word. That's even sicker. That's
yeah.
even cooler.
All right, you go. Go ahead.
All right, so what was my? Oh, so like
Yes,
I
it
went
was.
through this.
That was a good
I
one.
remember
Yeah,
Backburner. I remember the
Edgy.
X
Yeah.
Backburner X. I remember that one. That's
Yeah.
the screen name I remember. But anyways,
This
what?
whole concept is ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
It's
So-
like computer, but like iMessage.
it's internet culture, bro.
That's so crazy to me right now because
With
like
the Times New Roman.
it's just like
All right,
those
so
conversations were terrible.
I
dude.
went through this period of like hating the funky for strings, you know? Like I hated that, so I wanted to change it.
Dude, I know. Can I guess what it was?
Yeah.
It's like BLH taco.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, dude.
I can't believe I
What's
remember that,
stand
dude.
for?
Dude, so
Blah
here's
taco.
here's like the fucking
Where's the
thing.
A?
It was like I wanted to be out of that screen name so badly, so desperately, but like I couldn't. It came to the day where I was like, all right, I'm gonna change my AOL. I'm gonna start a new account and add all the people that I actually talked to, because I had a whole bunch of people that I didn't actually even talk to.
Right,
Right,
yeah,
so I
we
was
all
like,
did.
trying to start over new.
You just saw that they were like online. or,
Right,
like,
right. And
way
I'm just like,
messages.
dude, like you guys all hate me. I'm not even cool. I'm getting out of here. So like I just like made a new account and I couldn't think of the screen name. Even though I hated Funky Four Strings so much. Like I should have thought about what my screen name was. So I had
There was
just,
so much pressure.
I just had
though.
no idea, dude. I had no idea. So like I literally it would come up with this thing where it was like, can't think of a screen name? Type in some keywords.
Yes.
And so I literally typed blah and then taco. And then it came up with a list of screen names for me. And then I just picked
BLH Taco.
BLH Taco. It was like 147 or something. It was like so stupid. And I
That's
just
amazing.
and I was like, it's just terrible. It's a terrible story. It's not an amazing story
Right.
because I hated that screen name so much, but then I didn't even have the respect for myself to be like, think of like a cool
Yeah,
one.
Like
you
a
know,
cool
like-
acronym
Dude,
for
no,
I came up with
BLH.
the worst one.
I
It was
really
just
liked Blah Taco though. That was like, I think it was really good.
Do you have
Good
another one that you remember after that?
That was ahead of its time.
Thanks, Jake.
Do you have one you remember?
I think that
after
was the one that you used for a really long time
A
after that.
really long time after that, yeah.
So I don't really think there
Was
was
there
a
one? There
second
wasn't one after that.
A screen name?
Yeah.
Like no.
All right. Cool.
Because then it
I
started to
respect
turn into
your
Facebook
dedication.
and Twitter. It
Right.
changed
Right?
a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah. I just didn't even.
I
Yeah,
think,
figure
yeah,
it out.
because like when MySpace ended, we like stopped using AIM because then
Right.
you're able to just do everything else.
Right.
But mine,
I remember some of these, like the later ones.
Internet history.
fucking-
Internet history 101.
Second and do you remember your second and third exactly?
I remember. So one thing that I remember is like a lot of the time, and AOL was super sick for this because you could just make an account like super quick.
Yeah.
And like I always had to make accounts for like stuff that was just like I don't remember. Like I had to make an account if I wanted to like make a new MySpace account because you can't use the same account if you want to make a different one
Right.
because your other one still exists under the account that you already have. You know what I mean?
I know what you're saying.
So I'd make
Yeah.
another account, and I think one time I remembered I did one in school, and we were in the computer science room in the middle school, and I was gonna make one. I forget what the name of it was, but it wasn't allowed. So then I changed it to like Poopy Dukeness.
Oh, dude, yes.
Poopy Dukeness.
Poopy
Yes.
Dukeness.
I remember Poopy Dickness.
And then
That was your screen name?
I never really used that as like a real screen name. But like the actual next one that I used, I think was like Leprechaunly.
Yeah.
I remember that
Oh,
But
one.
like
I remember that
every
one.
E was threes.
Threes.
Yes. I remember that one.
Took me a while to figure that one out.
Yeah, because I was like, well,
I
first
was like,
of all,
oh, like a leprechaun. I get
well, the first thing is like I didn't know how to spell leprechaun at the time, so it's like LEPROCONLEY, but like leprechaun is like with like a U A and a U.
A-U-N,
it. Oh, snap.
Yeah,
It's like a
so it looks weird, and it had a lot of threes, and it was just weird.
leprechaun. What is
That one made
what is
it-
the history of that word?
Leprechaun.
It must be France.
It's probably Irish, dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna bet against you there. I'm gonna,
Yeah, no,
as
you're
someone
right.
with red hair, I'm gonna bet against you.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but I think Leprechaun they made it for a while. I also had one that was like a throwaway one that was like Gerbil of Anarchy
Dude.
because I took care of my sister-in-law's gerbil,
Gerbil of Anarchy.
That's dope.
and that was
Sounds
the
like
one.
it could
That's
be
like-
an Adult Swim.
That
show.
was
Yeah,
the
sounds
one
like
that
a
I
sick
remember.
comic book.
Like the last episode we talked about being in. I talked about being in They'll Never Take Us Alive.
Yeah.
Like with him. Gerbil of Anarchy was like one of the emails that was like used to like log into that account
That's awesome.
because that was why I always had to make these different accounts.
Right.
Because you had to make a new band account and you had to have like a different email or something like that.
Dude, what a
Nope.
complicated process.
It was
It was a
Crud.
lot.
Snap.
All right. So speaking of bands, let's jump to answer some of these remaining questions. I know, like last episode, we answered a couple, and Sam, he's a real OG.
Yeah, thanks for
answer-
asking us
gave us
questions, Sam.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
the man.
great. Keep doing it.
Here's to you, Sam. You're my
Cheers
bud.
up. I would drink if I had more beer, but I drank
well.
it all.
Yeah, I just had the last sip.
Freaking pace yourself.
So,
Jeez.
anyway, so we answered the other three. Sorry, we answered two of them. Here's three. First one, where did the band name come from? We specifically didn't answer this last episode because
Dang.
I don't know.
That's a interesting question. Jake, I think you have some insight on that. It kind of came from both sides here at some point.
Because obviously that Promise Breaker, when it was like in its founding,
Right,
it
so-
was more of a project. It wasn't like it was like
Right. So we
wasn't a
never.
main thing.
Me and Jake made Promise Breaker. I think it was almost because I had just bought like my second actual amp actually, because like I'm sure you guys talked about it on the last episode. In Move Like Addis, I was just the standalone vocalist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
I did
we
it.
didn't
So
say it
at,
specifically, but like
so
I
at
alluded
that
to it,
point,
yeah.
I had actually, I remember for, it's kind of messed up. And this ties into the episode that we did like a while back. But I actually sold the first amp that I had, which was a JCM 900.
Marshall, yeah.
Yeah.
I sold that to pay for the first Move Like Addis album. Because I was like, I'm just a standalone vocalist. Why do I need this amp? Sold that amp, and then I paid for the album with that money.
Oh.
So I kind of do regret that because it would be sick to have a JCM 900 right now. But
Silence in the end. It's on Spotify. Go ahead.
Wow, dude, you're
Yeah.
withholding information from us.
sorry guys. But anyways, so yeah. Anyways, I had it was 2014. Fast forward 3 years. Yeah, it was 2014. I decided like, yo, I'm gonna buy an amp because I wanted to pursue more like learning how to like produce music a little bit more.
Right.
So I bought like an amp that I liked, and it was like that. It was like the 5150 block letter.
The combo.
Yeah, the combo. So and I brought it down to your basement the one night, and you and I literally just started jamming. We were especially inspired by just Nails at that point because the year before they had released Abandon All Life.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
and so Jake and I had been really inspired by that. And like so we were inspired by the concept of two dudes jamming. Two dudes or like
the Chariot, I was
or like
listening to
three
a lot
or
of
like
the
a
Chariot.
power trio or a power duo, like just like a guy and a guitar with a guitar doing vocals and then like the drums. And like we really were into that idea, so we started just jamming in your basement and we wrote OG. And
What's now known as OG.
was now known as OG.
Okay.
This and we wrote it as a song, and it was a song that we had written, and it was called Promise Breaker.
Oh. Okay.
And do you came up with that song name? Do you or
No,
like,
I think it was just like,
we
A bit of a random name.
yeah, it was just like, we made a heavy song and then
Right.
we just saved that as that song. But yeah, so like the reason the song is called OG is because it was like the
is the first
I
the
learned
first
something
song.
today. I learned something in this podcast.
Yeah.
right. We recorded that in
Yeah.
2014,
Yeah, so
and we
that's
just
why-
kind of like slept on it. Jake
Yeah.
really
That's cool.
focused on Young and Heartless, and like I was focused on Move Like Addis, and right in between those those areas of our lives, we just like kind of like got together and we're just like, yeah, let's make like this little Promise Breaker project.
We
And
did
then-
that kind of thing too, like me and him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We like made like a couple like hardcore songs or whatever. Like,
right.
So it was definitely like coming over to the basement to just like jam and just like do stuff that we weren't normally doing.
Literally. And then I think whenever it came to the point where we were maybe losing track with what our current bands were doing, me and Jake kind of revisited that idea, and we were just like, yo, like this song that we made was like super fun, and like I enjoy playing the guitar, you know? So like, and it, I don't know, it just turned into Promise Breaker. We didn't really think too hard about it because actually whenever we started Promise Breaker, we were still kind of heavily involved in the other projects that
Yeah.
we were doing.
Yeah.
And like just that whole idea of like
Yeah.
being
Well, that was
of,
the
like-
point where we like started getting together at the warehouse, and then
right. Yep.
I think Brad was living with me and Britton at that point, and he would come because like he was like
Yeah, that's
probably
right. I remember
a
that.
few years into his like video like editing and like
He's
that
a very
work that he
talented
was
guy.
doing. Yeah, he was a super awesome guy. So like he would just be like, "Oh, I'm like I don't really want to hang out here tonight, so I'll like come with you to practice and just like shoot video." So that one, like the first video we have on our Facebook is just like one of the first few times that we got together at the
Yeah,
warehouse.
literally.
That's cool.
Crazy. That was before we even had like lyrics written. We were like writing songs at that point. We were like writing the self-titled.
Like Carbo Tunnel and like, yeah. And I was playing on Ben's kit because that was
That's
the
right,
kid
bro.
at
Yeah.
that house.
That's right,
Or at
dude.
that warehouse.
The red and white kid.
That's insane.
That's right.
And like I said, I mean, like we didn't really at that point. Still, we weren't taking it that seriously because
We had other things.
We
going
had
on.
other bands happening too. Like I know, like at that point, you were kind of taking a hiatus from like music.
yeah, we
but-
talked about that a little bit.
Yeah,
in the
but
last
like
episode.
I was still, I was still writing songs with like Addis and like trying to keep that going.
Yeah.
We were actually writing songs with Young and Heartless too, and we like doing tours.
Yeah,
Going
'cause we
on
were
tours.
trying to like come up with songs that we were like finished with like Young and Heartless and stuff like that, but it just would always end up being like really frustrating every time we would get together. And then we would just go to the warehouse and just write.
Just
Random
jam,
stuff,
just
like-
random,
Yeah.
just write random shit. Like I think Promise Breaker started out as like, okay, well, I think we're thinking too hard about the projects that we're in currently, so let's go here to like not even think about it.
yeah.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Just
whenever we
dumb
wrote,
caveman things.
and that literally even goes down to like a lot of the like the lyrical content almost. Like whenever the instrumentals were done, lyrically, I was just like, I'm just gonna throw down like I'm just gonna start writing a lot of like differently than I was writing in like Addis too, because my lyrics kind of changed from like a more like direct subject point to like a more kind of like
More vague.
more not more vague. Well, yeah, a little bit vague because of how like I kind of just start to just do. I don't know. I just write like different phrasing and different like different subject matter. It's like kind of more abstract and I don't know. So I don't know. It was just different. A lot less thinking I think went into it, and like whenever it came down to it, we just kind of like figured like this song was called Promise Breaker. And so the band will just be called Promise Breaker because it was just like we had went into our archives of like music that we had written with each other and just were like,
Gotcha.
all right, now we're like, what is this? This is Promise Breaker, and we just kind of went from there. Also, in the song Foist, like I wrote like a story about somebody writing a letter to there's just a whole story that goes with Foist about lying, and so.
Yeah, I remember
I
that.
kind of like, and I kind of also, as I've been writing these albums, I've been like thinking about like what affects like the human psychology,
Oh, yeah,
and I think that like what affects human psychology is like the most in negative ways are like just falsehoods in general, like things that are just not true causes such a distortion in like human psychology. And so I feel like that's what encompasses all of the ideas and lyrical content that I put into Promise Breaker. It's almost like I think about it as like, what is the Promise Breaker in this album? And like, so like
I can see
the
that.
first one is like kind of about terrorism. The second one is kind of about drugs. And then the third one is about like media. And then the one that we're making right now is literally about just the human brain.
For your own
itself.
mind.
Yeah.
It's your own mind itself.
All right, let's move on to the second one. The second question here.
Yeah, you're diving in a little deep there, bud.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I just
Yeah.
I've thought about that.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, man. That's
So
awesome.
another question is, do we have any wild mosh stories? Like, have you ever been to a wall of death or any wild mosh stories? And as a precursor, Jake in the last episode did bring up the As I Lay Dying concert that you guys went to. So
Yeah.
we know it's pretty.
Dang,
cool. So
I
he,
guess-
like kind of mentioned that, but like we didn't really like per se bring
Yeah,
that up.
okay.
But like, so if that is your wild mosh story, then
Well,
like,
yeah. I mean, like I don't know what I said in that episode, but I definitely like that Bring Me the Horizon show in 2011.
oh, sick.
Like they had a wall of death whenever they started playing.
Oh.
Whenever they started playing, it was either the Come Down or like Chelsea Smile or one of those.
Oh, word.
But like it almost killed me for sure.
Jesus.
I like sprained my ankle and I was underneath a pile of at least like 10 people. And like I couldn't breathe and it was just like I I might suffocate here.
This is how it ends.
This might be it. Was it worth it?
Honestly, I would have
Yeah.
loved to die to Bring Me the Horizon. Like
If you would
straight
have
up.
died, Ollie would have looked down at you and said, "Sleep is for the weak."
God damn.
The end is not.
Yeah.
Right, so Bring Me the Horizon was one of your Wild March stories. Do you have any other ones other than the Azalea dying?
I remember going to Purple Door one time,
Oh, you went to Purple
and
Door.
that was I think they have that at Ski Round Top, right?
Yes,
That's where they do that whole thing.
I think so.
Yeah,
where they did it.
where they did it. Yeah, I don't think they do it
Right.
anymore.
If we're wrong, comment and tell us where it
It
is.
was like Creation Junior,
Yeah, this is for all you old heads.
Christian metalcore. But
Breakdown
I remember seeing. I want to say it was A Plea for Purging.
Dude.
But
Such
it
a
was,
sick band.
Yeah, they're crazy. They're
Yeah,
awesome.
we're dope.
But they play. It has to be them. I want. Oh yeah, I want to say. But anyway, it was like a pit. It was like a circle pit. But there was a dude that was holding a dude in a wheelchair, and like going around in the circle pit with him, like in the air. But like
I love that.
it was like it was like dangerous and wholesome at the same time, and that's what we love to see.
And that's what moshing's all about. It's
Yeah.
dangerous and wholesome at the same time.
Yeah, like hey, I might hit you, but like
Right.
I'll apologize.
Ah.
Damn.
Dang.
Unless
I
it's
also, I don't know. I just like, I think that going to Philly and seeing people mosh there, like, it's like realizing that there's like a whole separation of mosh culture
Mhm.
compared to like, you know, obviously like what I guess essentially what we're talking about is like Warped Tour, like mosh,
Right.
right? Like,
You're talking about like dancing or
well, not yeah, sort of almost. It's like sort of the same thing,
I
but
mean,
it's like
it's
with
like-
different like music genre like niches. There's like also different dancing for
Yeah,
sure.
It's gone through
And-
through
Yeah.
stages, right?
Yeah.
'Cause, like I mean, like even back then, like there were times whenever like Warped Tour bands had like circle pits. You know, like,
You're right, but I remember dancing even back then.
Oh no, yeah, absolutely. But it's
Yeah.
like people. Some people I feel like they associate like metal with like push pits and circle pits. But like, dude, like the story I'm
Yeah.
going to talk about with like a Warped Tour show had a circle pit involved in it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But
yeah.
what? Well, like I guess to answer the question for me, like the Wild March story was in 2008, Warped Tour. It was my first Warped Tour I ever went to. Under
Where was it at?
Under Earth played Scranton.
Scranton.
Under Earth played last,
Dude,
and I was like totally out of my own. I was like sunburned to fuck. Like I didn't
that's
know.
part of it. Dude.
Yeah, well, I didn't wear any sunscreen, so you can imagine.
Yeah, you would.
So, they were the last band playing at the like main stage, and I just remember being like in the back. I wasn't like involved in the pit, but like
Right.
I wasn't like in it. But I remember someone talking about someone having a switchblade in the pit and like
There's always that guy.
like swinging it around, and I thought like, there's no way someone's
Right.
gonna let this dude bring out a switchblade and not like tackle him or something. And I saw someone like being escorted out of there with like a big ass cut like above their eye,
Insane.
and I
dude.
was like, oh my god, there's actually a dude with a switchblade in there. And like
Wait.
as a kid, like the realization I had that like Simpsons like next door neighbor moment where like, I'm in danger. Like I had that immediate.
Oh, there's
reaction.
bad people
And-
that kind of shit is so stupid. Can
Oh
I just
no,
say
100%.
like
It is completely fucking stupid.
It's like-
the only like back then, like I was younger, and I didn't have the like reaction of anger. I just had the reaction of fear because
Right.
I was like there. I wasn't there by myself, but I was there by myself. Like I was
Yeah.
at that
Yeah.
moment by myself. So I was just like, Jesus Christ! Like it was ridiculous.
yeah, dude.
And
It
was wild.
is this more than I bargained for?
It's Fallout.
I didn't
Boy.
know that-
Get out of here. All right. Anyway, all right.
My
we're gonna-
sickest Mosh story is Fallout Boy. No, dude.
No,
The Fall Out Boy's
that's
sick,
crazy.
though.
But I have a question.
Yo,
What
hold
is
on.
a switchblade?
Sam, tell us your favorite Mosh story.
Yeah.
In the
Please.
comments of this video. I'm stoked to hear
You
it.
say you have a question?
Yeah, what is a switchblade?
A switch, isn't it? I don't really know. It's like,
So-
it's a type of like knife, obviously, but it's like I think it's one that you. Is a switchblade technically one that you can like open like that? or it has like the button.
I have no idea. I'm like
I think it has a
very-
certain mechanism, like a certain,
I know
like,
what
lock.
I know what a butterfly knife is because we used to like play with them all the time.
There might be like a
But
like
that's
a
the
word that
only,
means
like-
the same thing that I don't know about.
I don't
Switchblade.
I think you
don't-
might be right. Like it,
Yeah.
like it you hit the button and it flips out.
or you
Yeah.
like can hold it up to somebody and just shake
Yeah.
them real quick.
Is that how that works?
It was
I
like,
think so, dude.
you like
I
put
don't
it
know.
in
Like,
their skin.
it's like
I
the-
got a lot of questions.
It's like the No Country for Old Men thing.
oh my god.
like the air compressor.
Yeah, the air compressor, like that piston.
Can we talk
thing.
about how crazy that shit was in that movie?
What,
Dude, I
don't
love
even
that
think
movie.
that's possible, dude.
that movie? What do you think that movie means? What do you think?
Nothing.
What do you think? That
It's
movie
just a
per-
western
You don't
with
think?
an air compressor.
You don't think it means anything? Like, there's no like.
I mean,
I haven't seen it recently enough
I
to
don't
be able
think
to.
it means much other than like the plot of the movie.
Right. I don't know. Maybe I do this thing where I watch movies and I look super deep
Like
into
overanalyze.
to super
Right.
analyze.
I mean,
like-
I just haven't seen it like recently
Right.
enough to remember.
I mean, like, it could
Right.
have a deeper meaning. I'm not dismissing that it doesn't, but like, I didn't necessarily pick up on it if there is.
Because that's
Right.
like he like sees or he like finds money, and then like people are after him for the money, and then
Right.
Yeah.
that's it.
All right. So before we get on a complete tangent,
That was
Classic
a really
Western.
good
He finds
summary
money, people are after him
summary
for
of that
money,
movie. Yeah,
and
then
he
people
finds
kill
some
each
money
other.
and then he wants the money and then
Then
yeah, that's the movie. That's the movie.
I love. Okay, I'm gonna. Bite
love his hair,
I'm gonna bite on this. The
Sick
the
hair.
gas station scene though. Amazing.
Oh, dude, amazing!
Can you tell?
I love
okay,
that movie so much.
Last question. Can you tell us about recording with Hayden and his butt plug? And obviously, I couldn't answer this because I don't know what the hell. It
Oh,
was.
dude,
yeah.
yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I wasn't
either.
there when they recorded drums.
The
but
butt
what was
plug.
it? So in the
What
studio
was the
video
butt plug?
that we put up.
What was that thing?
Yeah, what are you
what
talking
was
about?
that? And also tell
That-
us about like recording. How was recording with Hayden?
Oh, right.
We talked about last time. So we
So
did in the episode last time. We talked about how this album was the first album that you
Right,
didn't
yeah.
track the drums,
Right. Yeah.
record them.
Yes.
So
I don't know. It was really sick. It was really
Nice.
cool to record with Hayden because I've met him before, and I mean, obviously he we had a relationship with him just because he had done the sound for us a lot at JB's, and
Yes.
every
Yeah.
time he
Yeah.
does the sound for anything, that kid just mixes really well. Like
He's great.
just got a great ear,
yeah,
and
That,
he's just
and he's like super positive all
he's
the time.
super positive,
It's great.
super cool guy. Like in general, like I would love, I love hanging out with him, and it was really easy to vibe with him, give him my ideas. He respected the fact that I had produced the discography up until then, so
Right.
he was like, "What do you guys usually do?" And like, "How do you guys do this?" And then I can
Right.
collaborate with how I usually do
yeah,
things.
bounce
and,
off each other.
and
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that. I like that kind of environment because I not to be weird or controlling or anything, but it's whenever we record with anybody, I would prefer it to be with a producer that also understands that we are also who has been producing the music up until that point.
Yeah,
Because we have a lot of producers, we will go to them and then they'll be like, all right, these are my standards and this is the rubric of how I do things, right? And I feel like that's cool. Obviously, they have a standalone quality assurance for their production,
Right.
Any
that's the reason that people are going
right,
to them.
exactly, right. But
feel yeah.
but it's also a thing where it's dude, we have our own thing that we do usually sometimes.
Like
in a
we're
way.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying. So, and it was
Yes.
just also really cool to just work with somebody else that had some different gear, literally.
Well,
because
he made the process a lot easier
yes,
because it was a lot of
less on the front end and less on the back end. Like it's already set
Yes.
up. You don't have to edit, do the bulk of the editing.
exactly.
You just get it sent to you. So you do the middle portion,
Yes.
and not at the front and back.
yes, and it just sounds a lot better from the get go, and it's just
Yeah.
easier to work with from the go.
Yeah.
Not to mention whenever we went there, it was just a lot easier to point out certain specific drum riffs in the songs rather than focus on the logistics of how it is being recorded. Like, cause like
Yes.
a lot of the time, I'm like, whenever I'm tracking Jake, it's like, all right, so like, I'm making sure this mic isn't out of phase with this shit, and like, I'm making sure that this is, and there's
Yeah.
consistency with that, and like, I'm like cleaning up the recording as it's going, and I'm not looking back at Jake and saying, hey man, that tom fill that you did at the bridge, do you know what I'm saying?
Like, can you do that better or like change?
It's
how
like-
you did
it's-
it?
you can be communicating with
Right,
Jake and
so-
talk about
Yes.
the music and let Hayden worry about like the other stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It was cool to just make samples there too, because his studio just sounds pretty sick, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome. No, I'm glad that like we chose to like track with him because I think it made the final product pretty dope so far.
Absolutely, man.
Almost
Absolutely.
there soon.
Agreed.
Soon.
All right, you guys ready to close?
Yeah,
it up?
let's rock this.
Let's wrap it up.